We love South.
Hello and welcome to a Raider Clubs preview show with Mr. Meyer. I'm going to go over all of our Raider Clubs that we will be having next Wednesday. We've got some new ones in here, and then we also have a couple of our repeated or older ones as well. So I'm going to go over all of the clubs. You'll get an idea, hopefully, of which ones you like. Pick a couple, 2 or 3, just in case you don't get your top choice. Picking for clubs starts today. So your teacher will have you sign up for those clubs, and next Wednesday we will have those clubs at the end of the day. So let's get through our clubs and see what you might be doing this next Wednesday. First up, we have a repeat club. This is Minecraft Masters Club with Mr. Meyer. Building in Minecraft, and we're going to continue working on the city that we have been building so far this year. Next up, we have Giant Board Games with Mrs. Leiniger. This is also a repeated club. Giant Jenga, Giant Connect 4, and Giant Uno, which is pretty cool. You do not have to be a giant to actually do these, by the way. You can actually be your normal short selves. So, yeah, have some fun with that. Next up, this is a new one with Mrs. Ramsey. Mrs. Ramsey doesn't usually do Raider Clubs with us, but since we're having it on a Wednesday, she's here, and she's going to be doing a Rube Goldberg machine. She's kind of expressed and kind of shown exactly what this is, kind of introduced it with a cool little video so you can kind of see what a Rube Goldberg machine is, and then you will be actually creating those during the club. So that one sounds like a whole bunch of fun. Next up, this is a repeat one with Mrs. Moody, the 3 Little Pig House Challenge. You'll be building some houses, seeing how strong they are, and hopefully no big bad wolves come. Next up, another one, also repeat with Mrs. Hokema, the 3D Bubble Construction. No better way of making bubbles than in 3D, I will tell you that. Next up, we have the Slime Makers Club. This will be a spring-themed slime, or at least I think it is. Mrs. Ross didn't actually tell me. I just kind of guessed at that one. But you'll be making some slime regardless. Next up, we have soap carving with Mrs. Brown. This is also a repeat club, but we got some brand new bars of soap in and also some new soap carving tools. So if you'd like to carve some soap, that will be the club for you. Whoops, wrong click there. Sorry about that. All right. Next up, another repeat one. We have the Angry Bird Building with Mrs. Guth. So building some things, flinging some things, breaking some things, all of that's going to go down with Mrs. Guth's club. Next up, Jelly Bean Towers with Miss Schluckabeer. How high can you go with those jelly beans? And more importantly, how high can you go without eating any of them? That could be the real challenge right there. Next up, this is a new one with Miss Wildy. You're going to be doing some balancing robots and making paper helicopters. That's right. So balancing robots and paper helicopters. So kind of a little artsy, crafty, but yet techie, cool thing too as well. So sounds like a fun club. A new one, by the way. Next up, we have the Building Masters Club with Mr. Raymond. So taking some of all of those fun things that we use in the Fab Lab and setting up some challenges for you. How high can you go? How tall can you build? That was pretty much the same thing I just said there twice. Yep, that's right. But those sorts of things, using that Fab Lab cool stuff that we have with Mr. Raymond. Next up, we have the Catapult Contest with Mrs. Ballou. Building some catapults, flinging some things. You do not actually have to be a Viking to enjoy this club. You can be anybody you want to. So this is going to be kind of fun, though. Catapult Contest. Next up, we have the Spring Art Party with Miss Cole. So you'll be drawing some spring pictures. If you're an artist, like to draw, like to do the artsy stuff, this will be the club for you. Next, sorry about that, a little phone ringing there in the middle of a video. That's a good thing, isn't it? Next thing we have is the Erupting Watercolor Paint. Look at that. I have no idea what this is. I just completely guessed on my picture. I put a volcano and I put some erupting colors out of it. This sounds like a really awesome club, though. Mrs. Watchhorn pulling this one together. So Erupting Watercolor Paint. Sounds crazy, sounds messy, but also sounds like a lot of fun. So those are all of our clubs that we have. And just a reminder, we are having our Raider Clubs April 24th at the end of the day. That's next Wednesday. Picking for clubs starts today. Your teacher will tell you how that's going to go down. Hopefully you get the club of your choice, or at least maybe your top 5 choices. But again, even if you don't, all of the clubs are going to be a ton of fun. I know all the pictures I've seen, all the kids that have talked about it have just loved every one of them. So hopefully you get what you want, but even if you don't, you're going to have something fun to do. And with that, I'm going to end this video, and I'll let you get back to your normal day, and we will see you guys later.
Wake me up before you go, don't leave me hanging on like